Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is the last Loshak in the Bag show of the week. Another tough week, Jimmy the Bag.
It's a fucking battle.
We're chugging through it. We're having a good time with college basketball. Some ups and downs. Jimmy the Bag, though, cruising in NHL and in NBA.
You are having a good time in college basketball.
I'm having a good time in college. I'm definitely having a very profitable February, as I expected. Do you want me to go back and find my overall February record? I could do that. It's quite good, even though yesterday I had an overall losing day yesterday, although friggin' that Rice game looked like it was going to cover. I had a big underdog spread loss that went to OT. Unbelievable. But overall I feel like I have a pretty good read, and of course not nearly as good as many of our regular commenters, right, Jimmy the Bag?
We're rolling with some great guys.
Minus 110 Nota Tota, Native Queen. A lot of these people in chat are just killing it in college basketball, and that is great to see, Jimmy the Bag, because I'm here to present a good show. You know what I'm saying? And as long as the picks are getting out there somewhere, we can take care of the jokes, and the commenters can take care of some great jokes too. But as long as the picks are getting out there somewhere, good winning picks, it doesn't have to come from me. It doesn't have to come. It can come from the commenters, right?
Absolutely, we're a team.
Absolutely. So that's all I care about. All I care about is that winning picks and great analysis are being provided in this show by wherever it came from. It comes from.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's see. Salty Dog 93 saying, "What hat are you wearing, Loshak?" I'm wearing the Super Bowl betcast that we did with the hat from that one, which was fun as hell. And we're probably going to be doing another show at the IFBC. I believe is going to be happening this year again. Right? Is that true?
I've heard it's going off. I'm pretty excited about it. I want it to be completely locked before I start fucking telling everybody.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
So one of the great things about SBR is we do put on these fun events, right? The Super Bowl betcast, the IFBC, which if you don't know what that is, it's a big like a bash, like a congregation of betting minds, and we discuss football handicapping and handicapping in general. The first one was last year. It was pretty fun, and we have a good time here overall at SBR, I think, right?
I've heard rumors that it's happening.
Yeah, but we don't know if it's guaranteed.
We don't know if it's in Hako necessarily.
Right.
It might be in Hako this year, which would be fucking out of control.
Sure.
It'd be just dumb wild.
Hey, we don't even know if the economy is going to be in one piece in 3 months. So, who knows? Who the hell knows? But as of right now, things are going well. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see from other comments here. Look at what a funny.
Brent Brooks. Brent Brooks, he says, Jim is the one you want to bang, Pete is the one you want to marry.
Oh, that's no homo. Very nice. That keyed it. There you go. See, Brent Brooks knows how to make a joke. If you just put the first part in there, it's kind of funny, but not that funny. But the no homo nails it.
Oh, man.
There you go. Brent Brooks says, Jim is the one you want to bang, Pete is the one you want to marry. No homo. Excellent writing there, Brent Brooks. Very nice. Jansen Bonzone says, shout out, please, on the road. Shout out to Jansen Bonzone.
Yeah.
Man, my brain is fried right now. My brain is fried. Christian Riva says, we have the best time, Loshak, sucking titties and everything. I might be touching some titties sometime soon. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Just like the IFBC. It's probably going to happen, but you never know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Might be sucking on some titties soon. Probably, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? Is the economy going to be okay in 3 months? Probably, but you never know. That's what life is like.
Jansen Bonzone's entire family's in the car, so we probably shouldn't talk about too much titty sucking because we're not entirely sure.
Yes.
He might have elders, he might have children. Who's to say?
Payless Way says, Pete, you should have told that dude this morning to jump on my soccer parlay this morning. He would have doubled up on his rent. Yeah, listen, I love soccer handicapping. I just don't have time to do it effectively. But I love it. I love the World Cup. Last time around, I knew that who was the big favorite? It wasn't Germany. It was Brazil. Brazil was the big favorite, right? Well, what happened?
We got a new commenter that you got to read, man.
Cream Wheat Jones just started watching this show. Damn, y'all should be a cable network. HBO or Showtime. Love you, motherfuckers. Also, my wife said hello. She loves your side. Oh my God, there you go. What an awesome comment. Talks about how great we are and comments on the sideburns. Yes, this is a new thing, inspired, of course, by Superfly. I'm thinking about trying to make something happen with it. I was looking at it. It looks awesome from the side. From head on, it looks okay, not awesome. I'm going to work it out.
Just good from the side?
Yeah, Yeah, I mean it looks great from the side. From head on, it looks just a little bit like, I don't know, a little bit like a wannabe redneck kind of look, but not really that cool looking. But I'm gonna work it out anyway. Cream of Wheat Jones, thank you so much.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah, we should be on a cable net, but our cable network's gonna be around in 3 months. Probably, but who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Who knows? But we will be here.
Yeah.
We will be here capping our. Oh, because it's going to be fucking baseball season.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I can't wait to sit beside you every day for
Woo.
fucking baseball
I mean,
season.
look, Jim, the singularity is coming in 2029, as they say. So, that's everything's going to be different. There's going to be no handicapping analysis then because the robots will be better at it than we are. So we got 10 years of fun, and then it's all over, Jimmy the Bag. You know that, right? In 10 years, computers are going to be as smart as humans. Then it's all over for us.
Computers are already smarter than humans. I couldn't give a fuck about that. I will still be capping with Twatty Latte and Maxwell Smart and Dexter
shit.
Rojas.
Native Queen even having fun on this Friday afternoon. Pete, get you a Pimp Cup.
Yeah.
Now, Pimp Cups are cool. Pimp Cups are cool. I would have to get one that suits me, though. I couldn't just get the standard, Don Magic Wand style glittery Pimp Cup, but I would like to get one. Yes, this is actually a pretty cool cup. One of my friends gave it to me, and I like to, in general, wear clothes and have things that people gave me because I just love it. This comes from New Orleans. I have a friend who's in law enforcement in New Orleans, but a really cool guy. I went to high school with him. He's also a chess champion. Chess champion.
Eh?
Crazy. Shout out to KK Karanja, who's probably not watching this, but great guy. Bruce Ian says this show is the best. All right, so let's get into it, Jim. How about that?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get into it, Jim. All right. Shout out to KK Karanja for giving me this cup. KK Karanja, chess champion from New York City. All right, let's see. Let's get into college basketball, Jim. Let's start. Let me pull up wow, I haven't even pulled up the friggin' SBR odds page yet to look at all this shit. I'm fried, Jimmy the Bag, but in a good way. All right, college basketball. In the morning show, we talked about how I said I liked Georgia State. Well, what's coming in here? Jokes? More jokes?
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
okay.
And Marak, my man Clint, wants Jim, can we make a logo T-shirt with you holding a big mug of foamy white with I've got a pint of sperm with your name on it?
Yeah. Oh shit, Philip Age. He says, "Damn, that's what's up, Pete. I'm from New Orleans. I'll tell you, man. New Orleans is like I should have just moved there when I was like 20 years old. That's a great place.
Absolutely
it really
great
is.
city.
It's an awesome place for like 8 different reasons, actually. You know what I'm saying?
Sammy Camaccioni says this is better than looking at that sad jar you were drinking.
Yes, no, this is a nice one. It's a nice little cup, but you see, it's a French Quarter cup. But you see, it's getting a little old. So I should get a Pimp Cup. Man, everything Native Queen says has a ring of truth to it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it?
man.
Whether she's talking about stay positive, first half overs, or get a Pimp Cup. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, she's an oracle.
It's just, it really is. And even like an oracle, sometimes her words are a little bit hard to figure out what exactly she's saying. But sometimes they're very clear. Get you a Pimp Cup. I will get one, but I'm gonna have to
Not
think
quite as clear as our man Mutt.
Yes,
Beast.
that's right. Mutt Beast overdoes it on the clarity, which I love. Mutt Beast, motherfucker. Love Mutt Beast. All right, so let's get to
Well, he
college.
wants to know if you get a good Wi-Fi signal under the bridge.
Nice. Yes, you can get Wi-Fi everywhere. Elon Musk is about to coat the world in high-speed internet access, so that's going to be no problem for homeless people in the future, which half the world population is going to be after the robots take over. They'll all be homeless, but they'll all have high-powered Wi-Fi, which is nice. You know what I'm saying?
And we can fuck the robots.
Yes. All right, so let's see. All right, so college basketball. Let's get into it. Again, in the morning show, I said I like Georgia State. Kind of an obvious play. A lot of people were agreeing with that one. Very ominous sign, though, was that minus 110. Nostra Tota said that he liked Georgia Southern. Last time we were in this position, I liked Northern Illinois. He liked the road team in that one. He was totally right. I was wrong. The line has moved a little bit in Georgia State's favor, although now it's coming back a bit. I saw -2 earlier on. I got it at Pick'em, or actually I got him at +1 when I bet it. In the morning show I gave it, I think it was -1. And now it's back down to a +2 or 1.5. So the line coming back a little bit for Georgia Southern. I don't know, Jimmy the Bag. What's your take on this one? I'm going to defer to you, Jimmy the Bag.
This is a very uncomfortable spot. Having Nostra Tota come out and say that Georgia Southern is his best bet, it's his play, was a bit of a curveball. Max and Twatty were very interested in Georgia State, especially Max, and so that's where I was leaning. And then when I heard Tota was on Georgia Southern, if I was I needed to cap each and every game on this card, and I decided, I'm gonna let this Georgia State and Georgia Southern game go,
Really?
and not make a play on it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you looked into it, Jim, didn't you?
I did, but I was instilled with fear because I should just blindly be tailing Nostratota, and instead what it's happening is he's getting me off plays. I'm not actually jumping on certain plays, so I'm not handling this right. Cream of Wheat Jones comes in and says Georgia Southern.
Damn. Cream of Wheat Jones, the guy who just said we're awesome and we should have a show on HBO, likes Georgia Southern?
Yeah.
Fuck. I wonder why. Because to my eye, Georgia State just looks like they have the edge. I'm not sure there'll be a big home edge here for Georgia Southern because it is a rivalry game. So I thought that Georgia State, one way or another, should pull it out similar to Arizona last night, right? Similar to Arizona, right? And look what happened there. I stuck with my guns. I was like, no, I'm not going to take Arizona State. I'm going to stay with Arizona. And they did cash. It was close, but they cashed first half and full game, right, Jim? How stupid would I have felt if I had been like, oh, no, all these people saying Arizona State, they're the worst team, but in a rivalry game, you take the home team and blah, blah, blah. And then I pulled my bet, and then Arizona cashes, and I'm looking at 2 units that I could have had that I just threw away.
I'm telling you, Arizona looked like the type of team that could run all the way through the tournament.
All right, I'll stick with my play on Georgia State, but I'm going very much on the record saying that I do not in any way, shape, or form like to be going against an opinion of -110 Nostratota.
Yeah, Vitalis and Ace are saying sharps on Georgia Southern.
Fuck.
But Robin Spears says sharps on Georgia State.
Fuck.
JD Williams says I go Georgia State as a pick.
And I'm 15 of last 19. So what? -110 Nostratota. What? There you go. 15 and 19, and he's on Georgia State. All right, look, I'll stick with it. I'll stick to it, and I'll just take Georgia State. And if I have to eat a couple losses because I'm on the right side of a sharp play, I will eat it. Man. All right, tough one. Holly Dilly says Indian Cowboy, 7 units on Georgia State boys. Okay, I used to do videos with Indian Cowboy. I trust him in general, not more than these commenters. You know what I'm saying? But I certainly trust him. It's another opinion that I do trust. Oh shit, Sean Thompson says 85% of bettors on Georgia State. Is that true?
I did not know that, but I did know I was under the. I thought that the public was definitely on State at the as of 2 or 3 hours ago.
Man. Okay, 85% of the public on Georgia State. We're not quite seeing alternative reverse line movement, although it has come down a little bit from the line that was up 2 hours ago, but it definitely has moved in Georgia State's favor overall. That's a really tough one. Cream of Wheat Jones like Georgia Southern. Damn. Okay.
Raymond Scott says the total's gone under in 6 of Georgia Southern's last 9 games when playing Georgia State. Georgia Southern is 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing at home against Georgia State.
Okay, listen, there's been other times. There's been multiple times this year where people have come in and said, 80% of the money's on a public play, blah, blah, blah. I liked it too. And it wound up cashing. You know what I mean? So as with all pieces of information with sports betting, they're all good to know. But I rarely will act just on one of them. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like when you're really reading the market, finding where the public is, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Jim?
I know what you're saying.
Jim,
it's
you
a
do
tricky
know what
spot,
I'm saying?
man. It's
all
a
right.
tricky spot.
This is very, very tough. JD Williams, what line did you get, Pete? Yeah, so now you can do the other thing where you can say, like, well, I beat the closing line, so I won no matter what happens in the game, which is also something. It's nice to beat the closing line, but it doesn't mean anything. JD Williams, I bet him at +1, which is nice. So I got a nice line there. For the show, I think I gave him at -1, and now it's up to a 1.5 or 2. All right, Kilted Chimp likes Georgia State. There you go. All right, so let's BT says you bet cash on all your picks, Pete? Yeah, of course. What are you talking about? Bet cash on all my picks for the past 20 years or however long it's been. Oh shit. Sean Thompson says sharps on Georgia Southern is correct. Isan Zolfagari says, first glance, Georgia State does look better, but other than sharps around Georgia Southern, because anyone come up with a good reason to take Georgia Southern? And when's the last time this happened, right? Who was that? Was it St. Bonaventure on the road against LaSalle? Was that the game? Remember that one?
Yeah.
St. Bonaventure, similar, a 2-point road favorite, and the line got bet down to +1. I don't know if the sharps are on LaSalle, but I have to assume the sharps, although Native Queen does say, we are the sharps, which is another little tidbit from Native Queen that has the ring of truth to it. I'm sure the sharps were on LaSalle in that one that caused that line movement. No easy cash there for St. Bonaventure. They just rolled, right? All right, I'm sticking with Georgia State. I talked myself onto it, Jimmy the Bag.
Ace says that Sports Insight says 74% of the bets, 75% of money on Georgia State. And Stucci comes in and says, and he's done this before, and he's been right and not had to do this, he says, I'll shave my eyebrows if Georgia State loses.
Wait, where is that?
Steve Stooch.
Stucci says, I'll shave my eyebrows if Georgia State loses.
He's done this before, and he did not have to shave them
Wow.
because he was right.
Wow. All right, listen, listen, I'm going to stick with it. And Roger T saying, aren't we sharps? Roger T says, aren't we sharps? Yeah. Are we not sharps? I ask you. Are we not sharps? They talk of sharps. I would love to give a speech like that to all the commenters, right?
Yeah,
they
man.
talk of sharps. They talk of sharp money. Are we not sharps? I ask you that. Are we not sharps, people? I think we are sharps. All right, okay. Well, at least a few people, Native Queen and a bunch of others. All right, let's move on, Jimmy the Bag. College basketball, you looked at the card. What are you liking here, Jim?
Well, so I made, I believe, 5 plays on the early show, and I have 3 additions. In no particular order, I will start with the under in Niagara at Iona. Very high total.
Yes.
I believe when I sent it in, I got 167.
Yep, still 167 right there.
Still 167. The last time these teams met on December 29th, Iona had a 17-point lead with 15 minutes left. Niagara came back at home, took the game into overtime before succumbing 98-93. Niagara shot just 16.7% from 3, 39.1% from the field. Iona is a tricky team to cap. They're 9-4 at home. They've beaten Ryder by 27 and lost to Monmouth by 22. It's very difficult to figure this team out. Niagara's won 10 of 12. Iona's third leading scorer, one of Pete's favorite players, Deshaunee Much, is questionable to play due to a team-mandated suspension. He had 15 the last time these teams met. Niagara rebounds by committee, whereas the Gales rely on 6'8" TK Edoji to do all the dirty work. He went for 14 points and 13 boards against Siena on Monday. I think that this game won't hit 167. I'd be surprised if it hits 160. Niagara and Iona. Niagara can. They are an offensive team. They rebound by committee. They can defend the perimeter. Iona is the same way. I feel like this is a good spot. I think this number is too high.
Okay, right now I'm going to take an awesome comment here from Akrit Jawanda. My mom trying to watch her Indian dramas on TV right now. I respectfully told her I need to stream Loshak in the Bag. We on the big screen right now. Let's get it. Left, right, ass up. I'll let my ass up too. Akrit Jawanda. Akrit Jawanda's mom trying to watch Indian soap operas. He's like, no, not right now, mama. We're watching Loshak in the Bag. The dramas can wait till after Loshak in the Bag show. All right.
Natives Queen is backing the first half under. She says, like that Iona first half under in Niagara game against the spread.
Yes.
I was close to taking Niagara +5.
But?
I was close. I've been burnt with Niagara on the road. Iona can step up sometimes they step up in monster spots. As I said, the way they just destroyed Ryder. And I just feel like I don't have a grasp on when Iona is going to step up and dominate and when they're not. Walter Trotter says Niagara is a lock. I don't know. Did you take Niagara?
Yes, I did. I gave Niagara. I bet it. The line has not moved much since it opened. I bet it at +5. I gave it at +5 in the morning show. And yeah, the Iona game is very interesting. The first game that they did play was high scoring, but did not go into this range. It went over, but only because of OT. The first half was, I think, 74, pretty modest scoring. You might really have something there, Jim. Under 167 -110 is the current best line. I'm going to stay off the total, and I did give Niagara +5 in the morning show as an official pick. Oh, and there was, you know how we talk about what happened the day before in college basketball, right? Another thing that I totally forgot to mention was that, once again, overthinking the should I take a William & Mary over cost me another unit left on the table. Another easy couple of overs first half and full game in the William & Mary game. No way I should not have taken that even at 78. You know what I mean? Just that's one thing. It's like you do your deep research and you find edges that are a little bit hard to suss out, which is very valuable. But also, it's just a unit is a unit. The low-hanging fruit, grab it. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Vegas, betting Vegas on the puck line at home and taking the friggin' overs, and especially first half overs in the William & Mary games. Even if the lines seem like they should be higher, even if the lines move down a little bit, no problem. You know what I'm saying? I made that mistake again. I knew it. I knew I should have just grabbed the over with William & Mary yesterday, Jim.
Raymond Scott's right. Still could have had under 171 in this game. The opening, I didn't see quite 171, but it did open very high.
All right, so in that one, Jim's on the under 167. I'm on Niagara +5, and that's it for that one.
Twadi is on Iona.
Twaddy's on Iona. Okay. I mean, I can understand why. I mean, I feel like it's going to be a game that goes down to the wire. The first game went to overtime, and I feel like 5 points is a nice little cushion. But okay, I certainly respect Twaddy. And also another little bit of bad news is we did get some confirmation that not only does minus 110 Nostra Tota like Georgia Southern. Here we go. Nate Pereira. Nostra Tota is making Georgia Southern his best bet. Fuck. Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? That just shows you how great these commenters are. The entire market movement doesn't concern me as much as one guy or one person, whether it's Nostra Tota, whether it's Native Queen, whether it's any of other a bunch of people having a strong opinion like that on the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if he just liked it, it would make me very nervous. If he says it's his best bet, fuck.
It's very disconcerting. La Music Vivo keeps asking about the Northern Kentucky game. We'll get to every game on this card.
Go ahead to the Northern Kentucky game, Jim. Did you look at that one?
I did. The only game I ended up not getting to was IUPUI versus Milwaukee, which very bothersome. I wanted to hit every game on this card, and I did not. Yes, Northern Kentucky, Wright State. Very, very interesting, very tough game. Northern Kentucky has 2 conference losses on the season, with both coming at home. One was to Wright State. One was to Oakland. Northern won 8 of 9 since that 84-81 loss to Wright State. They shot the ball poorly in that encounter, just 44.4% from the field, and they went 8 for 26 from 3. They are a perfect 6-0 on the road in conference play. Wright State is coming off a 1-point home loss to Milwaukee on Saturday night, which makes them dangerous. They're angry. It was just their 3rd loss in conference play. They have 3 players in double figures, but they're obviously led by Drew McDonald and that big ass of his, man. In the paint, he's a dangerous guy. 16.9 points, 9.2 boards. He will have to deal with Wright State's Ludon Love, another big boy, 6'9", 275 pounds, 12.4 points, 9.9 boards. Ludon Love went off against Milwaukee, 20 points, 19 boards. Wright State 6'11" center Parker Ernsthausen is probable to go with the chest injury, but they've cut his minutes in half since he's been dealing with this. So almost take out the advantage of having a 6'11" center because they're just playing him 10 to 15 minutes a game right now. Man, I wanted to take Wright State home dog. I try to get as many of them as I can, and I just can't fade the Norse here. But I don't like the Norse enough to take that. This is probably the hardest game I think to figure out for me, and I just had to leave the game alone. And I'm sorry. Music. Where is he? La Music Vivo. I'm sorry. I wish I could give you better. I wish I could give you more of an angle. Do you have something on this?
No, that has second half written all over it totally for me. If you gave me a free bet on the pregame lines, I would take a shot with the over on that one, but I'm not going to take that one either. This one has second half written all over it for me. And here, these comments are just getting better and better. This is another comment that seems too good to be true, but tell me what you think of this one, Jim.
Sure.
This is from James Vegas. Did you read this comment, Jim?
No.
James Vegas says, my 8-year-old just asked me if my Raleigh Fingers and Paul Molitor bobbleheads were Loshak and the Bag bobbleheads. You know Raleigh Fingers?
Of course.
Of course.
Raleigh Fingers, of course.
And you know Paul Molitor, right?
Of course.
Baby-faced killer with the bat.
Man.
Baby-faced killer. Motherfucker had 660 at-bats every year, 40 doubles, hit 310. Awesome bat.
Hell of a manager.
And Raleigh Fingers, that's awesome. James Vegas, my 8-year-old, just asked me if my Raleigh Fingers and Paul Molitor bobbleheads were Loshak in the Bag bobbleheads. Unbelievable comment. The comment is just getting better and better and better in this show. I love it.
So back to Northern Kentucky.
Yes.
Jordan Forster says revenge spot. Twaddy Latte. It's got Wright State. It's Twaddy juice on Wright State. Maxwell Smart is also who was on Georgia State earlier, says I would follow Nostra Tota over a bridge, and I'm switching to Georgia Southern.
Oh, great. Oh my God! Well, I should probably do that as well. And in the meantime, we've got the Oracle has spoken here, Jim, in all caps. Native Queen. First half plays: Yale against the spread, Rhode Island under, Buffalo against the spread and under, Youngstown State ATS, Cleveland ATS and under,
Good
Penn under, and Harvard ATS. The Oracle has just opened up with about 7 or 8 opinions there, Jim.
And a lot of them are on my side.
Very nice, very nice. Yes, yes. All right. So, Isan Solfagari says, Pete, why are you not on the over in this Northern Kentucky game? I think because Wright State can slow it down. I remember recently when Wright State was in a bunch of tournaments, and I was on them under every game and cashed with that one. And Northern Kentucky is just kind of a weird team. They can sometimes be very, very slowed down. I think they went to that game against Cleveland State that went to 110. So there you go. I'm just gonna. Big Dick Donnie says much is on tonight. I think that in tonight.
Oh.
That's Deshawnee Much for Iona, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very, very.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's important. All right. Okay. So wow. Jesus, and now Twatty's on Georgia Southern. Yeah, it seems all the sharp people are on Georgia Southern. All right, and so let's get to some of these picks from Native Queen, which is Cleveland State against the spread and the under. I bet the under in that one. Of course, in the morning show, I did give Cleveland State. The line had gotten bet up. I bet it at 4.5, and the morning show was 5 or 5.5. So I gave it as a pick at 5.5. There is still 5.5 at the Greek, but everyone else has 5.
Good.
What? Yeah.
Get me on Cleveland State full game.
Okay, Jim's going to take him. Cleveland State full game plus 5.5. Native Queen is on that one as well. Again, not exactly sure why the line got bet up from the opener, but now it's headed down a little bit. Plus 5.5 minus 110, and I was also looking for the under. Give us your analysis of this game while I look for the total in this one.
Oakland played in their first game without Martez Walker, and it didn't go well. It didn't go well, and we can break down why it didn't.
Yeah.
Walker averages 17.6 points a game. Without him on the floor, the Grizzlies are much easier to defend. They have star guard Kendrick Nunn on the outside and senior Jalen Hayes on the inside. That's it. They have only 2 other players to score over 4 points per game. When these teams met on January 12th, Cleveland State was up 3 at the half. Oakland pulled away late. The 81-68 score isn't really the idea of how the game broke down. Cleveland shot 36.1% from the field and 29.6% from 3. The Vikings have won 4 of 7 at home, with one of those wins over second in the conference, Wright State. Cleveland State has depth. They have 2 point guards that do a nice job in Tyree Appleby and Kasheem Thomas. If Tyree Appleby is struggling, Kasheem Thomas comes in and vice versa. It's a nice little rotation they have. Kenny Carpenter, Bobby Ward each average double digits. 6'9" Serbian Stefan Kenic averages 9.4 points a game. He's averaging 16 points over the last 3 games. He will be big because, as we know, Oakland doesn't have a lot of height. I like this spot, and I like this number, and I'm taking it. Nate Pereira says, I think Oakland rolls here. I hear that. I'll take plus 5.5.
That's a nice little cushion there. Even if they win, it might be one of these 2 3-point games. Cleveland State plus 5.5. I also like the under, and I will take the bet online under at 152 minus 118. I should probably take 151.5 minus 110 because that half point probably isn't worth 8 cents, which is the current line of Pinnacle. But what the hell? I'll take the under 152 minus 118 at bet online. I do like that one as well. A lot of people asking about the Rhode Island St. Bonaventure game, so let's get to that one, Jim. You took a St. Bonaventure plus 2.5. Let's see where that line has moved. It is now, oh, wow. Yeah, it keeps headed up. It's now up to 3. There's 3s available. I assume that's because the guy who was expected out for Rhode Island is playing, right?
E.C. Matthews is playing, and he wasn't expected out. He was just questionable.
Yeah.
We knew they pulled him in a game that they were winning easily. But yeah, E.C. Matthews will be there. This is not about Rhode Island as much as it's about St. Bonaventure. This is a special group. These 2 senior guards, I mean, this is the biggest game of their life, Jalen Adams and Matt Mobley. I just think this is a really exciting spot.
I was also thinking about the over. Did you get a chance to think about the total here, Jim?
I did look at the total, and there was people on both sides of this. What is the number at right now?
Well, it's 150, and I'm going to make the first half over an official play, even though it's headed down a little bit. 71 market wide. We do use Bet365 lines, though, so I'll take the 70.5 over. 5 Dimes also has 70.5, so I will take first half over 70.5. Rhode Island, St. Bonaventure. I did get a little bit burned taking a Rhode Island over recently. I think it was against Davidson, but I'm going to go on it again here. Yeah, it's headed down. There just took a small move to the under as I speak at Pinnacle, but I'm going to take the first half over 70.5 minus 110, and hopefully I won't get too burned on that one. What do you think, Jim?
I think it's a pretty sharp line. I can definitely see your play, and it's going to come down to St. Bonnie's outside shooting, and when you deal with that, there's obviously there's a lot of volatility when you're shooting from out there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, what else are you liking from today's card, Jim?
Don Ricci says something nice. I talked about you guys at the winter poker tourney at Borgata. I told the big mouths they're not the usual scam cappers holding
Really?
plays so you buy them or giving both sides on the telephone crap.
Really?
Thank you, Don. Much love, man.
That would be cool to be the usual scam cappers. You know what I mean? To be like, yeah, I like Rhode Island. Yeah, I like St. Bonaventure. Call up the guy who gave the side to one. It's like, I told you, pal. Now we got my diamond package for $59.99 a month. You interested? I think I'd be good at that, Jim.
I think you would, but it's a dying industry.
My diamond package, $59.99 a month. I just gave you St. Bonaventure plus the points. Now you can get my premium picks for $59.99 a month. I'd love to be that for 1 week or something, Jim. That'd be fun as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's
Then I would
hard
call
to-
them back later on and be like, listen, I was just scamming you. I'm going to give you back the money plus interest, and
That's
it's
my
all
guy.
just a joke.
That's
it's all
you.
just a joke.
That's where I like to see
Yeah,
it.
exactly. All right, Jimmy.
I am adding on Youngstown State.
Okay.
To my card. Now, we talked earlier on the show about how Detroit would feel, their mentality going into this match. Dan Kelly talked about the 4-hour bus ride, how it's a little tougher than the 10-minute ride to Oakland. We've talked also about how Detroit Mercy's handled adversity so well all year. Their two starters, Jaleel Hogan, Tariq Jones, losing them to academic suspension. Those were starters that they were relying on. They've lost role players, Isaiah Jones, Gerald Blackshear. Not as big of a deal. They've shown a lot of heart. Sure. But Youngstown State is a squad that's come together. They've won 2 in a row after losing 5 straight. The first thing you ask with a team playing against Detroit is, do they have a big that can bang with Cameron Chapman? And Youngstown does. They have 6'6", 230-pound freshman Bohannon, and he's 7 points, 7.9 boards. He can bang with Cameron Chapman, and that is necessary. He's also a freshman. He's got young legs. He's going to be able to run. He's got to run Chapman up and down the floor. He's got to run him like crazy. Chapman is the key to everything that Detroit does. Penguin senior guard Cameron Morris has been playing exceptionally well. The last few games of his career, and he's playing very well. On the season, he's 15.4 points, 3.7 assists. In the last 3 games, he's averaging 25.7 points. He sees the end in sight, and he's stepping up. He's gone 14 for 30 from 3. And then they got his backcourt mate, Braun, 6'6" guard. The Penguins have that not only can score 14.3 points a game, but he's an excellent perimeter defender. I like this spot for Youngstown State, and I'm going to beat up on the broken Detroit Mercy team.
Wow. All right. Well, I did give that one as an official pick in the morning show. I bet it at -2.5. In the morning show, I gave it on the money line -160. So how do you want this one, Jim?
Full game.
Full game spread?
Yeah.
All right. Youngstown State. No threes available, unfortunately. So we'll give you -3.5, -106 at Pinnacle. Best line right now, -3.5, -106. And what do you think about then the first half there on Youngstown State, Jim? What do you think about that?
I think it's a good play. I just have not had success doubling up on games, and I've had a very bad week in NCAA basketball, and it's making me pretty upset.
All right, I'll double up on it. I could have gotten 1.5. I had given this one in the morning show. That is not available anymore, but I will take the -2, -103. That's the current line at Pinnacle. First half -2, -103. I will double up on this one. Feels like it's going to be a down spot for Detroit, and I'm going to double up on it. All right, what else do you like? Let's see if there's any games people are requesting here.
Well, Twadi is also on his alma mater, and Kobe says Penguins have won 2 straight, which included a win against a strong Oakland team, so I'm confident they can handle a weak Detroit club.
Very nice. Yes. All right, more comments. More. The Oracle has been rustled again. Full games. Rhode Island under. Fuck, that's not good. Canisius ATS. Yes, I gave that one first half and full game in the morning. Harvard. Jim likes that one. Jim gave that one first half and full game in the morning. And Niagara, I'm on that one, Jimmy the Bag, even though Deshaunay Much is back for Iona, supposedly. Let's talk about Canisius and Harvard, I guess. I like Canisius. I gave him on the full game -1 and -2. I don't remember what I gave him at. Oh, yeah, I took the money line at -135 and the first half -1.5. I bet it on the full game at -2, and that is now up to... where is that? That is now up to 3.5 or 4. All right. Same thing happened with Montana yesterday, and same line, same road situation, and got bet up to the same line where it is now, and they lost. But I like this one a lot better than what I like Montana. Definitely Eastern Washington felt like a vulnerable, felt like a live dog was going to challenge Montana possibly yesterday, which is why I only took them on the first half. This one I'm feeling more confident. I like Canisius here. What do you think, Jim?
First off, Luke Charleston says, didn't Native Queen have a losing record last night in NCAA? She's a monster. Who cares? Who cares if you have one losing night? She's giving us gold day in and day out. You're not going to win 365 days of the year.
And second of all, I don't know that at all. I don't track her picks, but maybe she did. But she might have had a winning record. I don't fucking know.
But she's enormously helpful. Mm-hmm. So be nice, Luke.
And also 2 days ago, she'd have to have had a pretty strong losing record yesterday to even out the big winning day that she had 2 days ago, right? Where she went 7-2 and
awesome.
Something like that. 21-9, yeah, something like that. All right.
So Canisius has won 5 straight, 14 of 16. Monmouth has been dealing with injury problems and dealing with them very well.
Yeah.
And it's always difficult capping and trying to plan out how a team's going to play when you're not certain whether players are going to be there and you see how well they're handling it. Leading scorer Micah Seaborn, been dealing with a hamstring issue all year long, doubtful to go. Third leading scorer and leading rebounder and assist man, Austin Tilgman. This is the guy that we need to know if he's in the lineup. He missed Monmouth's last game, is questionable to go tonight. He's been dealing with a shoulder injury for a long time. Monmouth has a huge size advantage. But they were out-rebounded by 8 the last time these teams played. I know people on Monmouth tonight, and I don't know if we're just chasing home dogs, which is something that is a legitimate thing. It's not the worst thing you can do. But because I know a few people on Monmouth, and they're playing well at home, and they're a difficult team to figure out, and Canisius coming down, I ended up staying off this game.
Okay, I also took a shot with the over. What do you think about the total on this one, if you have any thoughts on that one, Jim?
I need to know if Tilgman's going to be in the lineup. And let me see if I can get the last second information right here. But he's a key factor. So I don't know. I feel like there's a ton of volatility in this game, and I'm uncomfortable with it.
All right, I'm going to stay off the total as well. What other picks would you like to give,
so
Jim?
Kobe says Monmouth guards are out for tonight.
Right.
Yeah, interesting. And then Native Queen did come in with some more. Leans Niagara first half, Yale first half and over, Canisius first half against the spread.
I'm on that one.
Youngstown under first half, Cleveland State against the spread, full game, nice.
Yep.
And Penn first half against the spread.
I'm telling you, Jim, you took Columbia, didn't you?
No.
No. You took the over on that one,
over,
147, which has not moved. You said that you think Penn is the more talented team, but that there's a good spirit going on in the Columbia locker room. I'm thinking that I'm liking Penn here as well, and I will definitely take Penn on the first half at the very least. Jim, let's talk about that game quickly. Jim, of course, took the over 147. That line has not moved. I'm going to add on the first half line here for Penn, and tell me what you think about this game, Jim, in general.
Well, I love the way Columbia is playing. First off, 3-0 at home since conference play started. 26-point victory over Cornell, 7 over Harvard, 3 over Dartmouth. Coming off tough back-to-back road losses where they played very good in both of them. They put a bunch of smalls around Lucas Meisner, and it's working. Love the way Adlish and Mike Smith are playing right now. I watched a bunch of highlights of their game against Brown, and man, these kids, they can shoot from outside. Pennsylvania had their 5-game winning streak snapped in a 9-point loss to Harvard. Pennsylvania is a very good team in this conference. There's no doubt about it. No members of Pennsylvania's starting lineup have missed a game this year. They're very comfortable with each other. I said on the early show, only their leading scorer. Other than their leading scorer, all of those starters average over 2.3 assists a game. A.J. Broder and Max Rothschild are bigs that it'll be very interesting to see how Columbia handles, because I think they're going to go small on those two guys. But the issue with Penn is they struggle at times shooting. Right, 66% from the foul line, 34% from 3, and it hurts them late in games. They're the more talented squad. But I'm not going to mess with Columbia at home right now, so I stayed off of it.
Okay, I'm going to throw on Penn. First half, -1, -110, and Jim again is on the over on that one. Another game that I was thinking about, the IUPUI Milwaukee game. Is that the game you didn't look at, Jim?
Yeah, that was the only game
Okay, I think I'm going to take overs here. Milwaukee has been, of course, a very strong under-trending team at home, but I think that might be serving to keep this line a little bit low. The line is headed down. I think I might take a shot with the over here. While I look at the totals currently for that game, what else do you like, Jim?
Those are my 8 picks. Those are my 8 official picks, but I've got the other games capped. So what do you want? We can talk. We got Bowling Green, Buffalo. We got UIC at Green Bay. In their first meeting, UIC was up 15-2 out of the gate. They had a 33-12 lead with 5 minutes left. Now, Green Bay is a home dog that I was very interested in taking today. Flames shot 58% from the field, 44.4% from 3. It's about 10% higher from the field and from 3 than they do usually. They had their 7-game winning streak snapped when Cleveland State came in on Saturday night and upset them 86-78, and that's probably the turning point for me not taking Green Bay. It's a wake-up call that UIC needed after feeling so good about themselves. Green Bay's coming off tough 3-game road trip. Losses at Milwaukee, Wright State, and North Kentucky. When you play the best teams in the conference on the road, you usually have a bounce-back game at home. I expect them to do that. They only lost by Wright by 4 points and North Kentucky by 6 points. 6'8" Manny Patterson is hurt for Green Bay, and I couldn't get more information. That will leave them with just one big David Jesperson. Green Bay's a small squad, but they get the boards. I don't know how they get to so many boards, and I love Khalil Small as a point guard. 17.6 points, 6.3 boards, 3.1 assists. He does it all. And I wanted to take Green Bay, but I just think they were given a nice wake-up call. I think Green Bay's going to have a bounce-back spot. I think it's going to be a very tight game, and I decided to stay off of it.
Okay, as far as the Milwaukee game, I'm just going to take the first half over on this one. It could stay in the 50s, but I'm thinking it's an okay bet to take it on the first half over. 61 plus 100 is the current line at BetOnline. 61 plus 100. Yeah, okay. Let's see some other comments here. Let's see, and then we'll go over all the games. Let's see. Ramon Scott says UIC Cleveland State has the highest pro activity tonight. I guess he's saying that a lot of people liking Cleveland State and liking Illinois Chicago. Walter Trotter says I'm taking that Penn first half. All right, I'm on it. And Native Queen is on it. Let's see. Jim Bean says UIC lock. Wow. I mean, they're a good team.
They've been playing very well.
Yeah,
they're 10-2 against the spread over their last 12. I don't know another team that's can have that kind of record against the spread.
Luke Charlson says Chicago gotta be a lock. I doubled up on them. Okay, Luke Charlson. Wow. Ooh. Omar Magana says Cleveland State is going to get destroyed. Trust me. Is that what he meant to say?
I hope not.
Oh, no, he meant Green Bay. Bay, right. Green Bay is going to get. All right, so Omar Magana really likes Illinois Chicago as well. Let's see. Ramon Scott, Columbia rarely a home dog, but is 2-8 ATS since March 2014 in the home dog role. That's a great little piece of information there. I'm thinking Penn is the good play here, even on the full game, Jim Bag. But
I understand. I understand it was a nice wake-up call, losing to Harvard by 9 points. So I get it. I'm just not going to mess with the magic that's happening over there right now.
Bruce Eaton says I'm on over in Penn, Columbia. Jim Bean says Dartmouth lock. Austin Guy saying, are we still liking Dartmouth, guys? Jimmy the Bag, you gave Dartmouth as an official play in the morning show. You're still liking them?
They're a scrappy group. They're a scrappy group. And I know it goes against, I've seen more people on the other side here. I've seen more people on Yale. We talked about some of those people on the early show. And much respect to them. I'm not hating on their pick. I just think this is a real scrappy group. And the big difference is Will Emery, he's changed. And Adrice Jackson, they've changed this team. This team, when they lost Boudreaux at the beginning of the year, they had no identity. They didn't know who their bigs were going to be. And they knew Emery would be one of them. But both these guys have stepped up in a huge way. And Jackson does not look like a freshman. He's a big boy out there. Big muscles, tough kid. I like Big Green.
Jim Bean likes Harvard -9. Jimmy the Bag, did we discuss that game? Or
We did, because I'm on both sides of that. I mean, we haven't discussed it on this show as much as we did on the early show.
All right, so tell him a little bit why you like Harvard. First half -5 and full game -9. He gave both of those in the morning show. Tell us what you like here, Jim.
I just can't figure out how Brown is going to play against Harvard in this matchup, because Brown's been going very small lately. They start the 6'9" Matt DeWolf, but he averages 15.8 minutes on the season, but he's only playing about 10 or 11 minutes right now. So Harvard's won 6 of 7. They've got 4 different bigs to throw at you, and when you have those kind of options, it just you can break down what the other team is doing. You can handle in any kind of a chess match. You can mess with what they're doing. And I like these 4 bigs. First off, if they go small, That's no problem because Chris Lewis will play at the 5. Seth Towns is 6'7". He'll play at the 4. Lewis and Towns together average just under 28 points and over 10 boards a game. They each just went off against Penn. Lewis went for 25. Towns went for 17. They also have a 6'10", 250-pounder, Matt Welsh. He's got 9 boards in his last 23 minutes of floor time. And then I was talking earlier about this Brampton boy, Danilo Juricic. 6'8" freshman. He can run the floor. He's not a heavy guy. He can run the floor easily. He's 16 for his last 23 from the field over his last 5 games. Harvard was my best spot. Now, in this conference, you don't want to ever take a 9.5 point spread. These teams are compatible generally, and they're even. But this was the kind of spot that I haven't had great success. And you've all watched me struggle in NCAA college, but this is my best play on the card. I doubled up on it. I think Harvard wins easily.
All right, Jimmy the Bag. Let's see, what else do we have here in college basketball? Someone else said that they like the over in Georgia State, Georgia Southern. I was thinking about that one as well. It was a game that I wanted to look into a little bit more carefully, but I forgot who the commenter was. But there was a commenter saying that the game is probably going to go to a 160. I recently had a big casher on the game where they played against Louisiana Lafayette. That game went super high scoring, and I was kind of liking the over here as well. All right, any other thoughts while I make a final decision here on Georgia Southern and Georgia State total? Any other comments you want to get to for the college basketball card that we haven't mentioned yet, Jim?
No. And how many? Oh, there's just one game at 7 o'clock. The Philly Flyers Columbus game in hockey. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I like this card. I guess I'll get overwhelmed on Thursdays, and I have a terrible record on Thursdays right now. But my Fridays have been fine, and I feel comfortable with the Ivy League. I think it's a good spot. Now we didn't ever actually get to the Bowling Green at Buffalo game. Yeah, this is a very interesting game as well. Buffalo has looked very good at home all season long, but Bowling Green's won 4 or 5, and they're 6-5 on the road this year. But they've lost their last 3 road games. I was surprised to see how good Bowling Green had been on the road of late. Both teams rebound the ball well, but Bowling Green has a big size advantage. And so I know a lot of the guys are on the over here, and when I think about 6'10", 240-pounder DeMaggio Wiggins and his front court teammate 6'9", 260-pounder Derek Kosh running the floor, I feel like this pace will slow. And if I was a Bowling Green's coach, I would make sure that these guys set up in the offensive end. I would not try and fast break on Buffalo. We know that Buffalo has a ton of speed. The fact is, can the Falcons keep up with the Bulls shooters? That is questionable, and probably not. But if I was the coach of Bowling Green, I would slow it down like crazy. Oh, and speaking Dingling just said Buffalo under. Luke Charleston's on Bowling Green plus 14.5. I really think what is the over-under on this game?
159. This one's going to be a pass for me. I've actually had a pretty decent read with Buffalo totals this year, taking them under when they went under and over when they went over. This one, I didn't have a chance to look into it too in depth, and I'm going to pass on this one. The market is definitely catching up with Buffalo, both as far as their sides and their totals are concerned. They're a great team, but they're laying a lot of points game in and game out, and I'm going to hold off on this one for now.
Wow, Kobe has a tiny score for this game, 66-62 Buffalo.
Yeah, I would lean under if anything, but I'm going to hold off on it. I am going to give the Georgia State, Georgia Southern overs, both first half and full game. I think both these teams will get to 70 one way or the other, and it should go over and probably in the first half as well. First half over 66.5 minus 110. It opened at 65.5, which I could have gotten that, but I'll take 66.5, and the full game over 142 minus 110. Those are both market lines at multiple books right now, so I'm taking that one. Georgia State, Georgia Southern, first half and full game over. Let's review the card, and then let's move on. Jim, how about that?
Yeah, I just wanted to go. Yes, Twatty has the over in Bowling Green, Buffalo, and that's why I didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah,
if I just stay off the games instead of going against guys like you or Twatty, I lose way more than 50% of the time when I go against you guys, so it just makes no sense for me to even do it ever.
There was one other play that I did want to make, and that was the team total over in the Canisius game. Of course, I had a big winner with the team total over in St. Bonaventure recently, even though that one went down. I kind of like this game going over. Obviously, I like Canisius in general, so I'm going to try to add another unit here, pad my record a little bit with the team total over in the Canisius game. Let me find that one. It is just 77, so I'm going to throw that that one on there as well. Like that one. Canisius team total over 77 minus 110. That's the current line at Heritage, and I will take that one. Canisius team total over 77 minus 110.
We didn't get
What's
to
that?
Princeton Cornell. Excuse me.
Princeton Cornell, Jimmy the Bag. You said you were liking Princeton in this one, right? Or
Not
no?
enough to make a move.
Right.
Not enough to make a move. But yeah, my lean is towards Princeton, but I just don't trust them. They've been playing well. They beat Cornell 91-54 a month ago. They took a 19-0 lead, led 53-19 at the half. Since then, Cornell's gone 3-3 and 2-1 at home, with their only loss coming at the hands of the very good Harvard squad, 76-73. Princeton is susceptible against teams with quality bigs. Cornell only has one in Stone Gettings, and that's not enough. I don't think that's enough to beat up on Princeton. You need to give them different looks with your bigs. Stone Gettings, 17.1 points, 6.7 boards, but this is a team with no depth. Aside from Gettings and Matt Morgan, the Big Red have no one averaging more than 6.1 points a game. I don't believe in Princeton, and I can't take Cornell, so I'm staying off this game.
All right, so that's it. Shall we summarize and move on, Jimmy the Bag?
Yeah.
All right. So in addition to the games that we gave in the morning show here, let's see.
Quickly, though,
yeah.
Carlos says, in my car with my son, starting him young, telling him to listen to Loshak in the bag.
Yes.
You can't go wrong. Thank you, Carlos.
And money management, the key to if Billy Walters didn't use money management, he would go broke in a month just like everyone else. You know what I'm saying, Jim? Yeah. All right. So Jimmy the Bag has given Dartmouth plus 3.5, St. Bonaventure plus 2.5, Harvard first half -5, and Harvard -9, and the Penn Columbia game over 147. And into the afternoon show, he gave Iona under 167, Cleveland State plus 5.5, and Youngstown State -3.5. Picks that I gave in the morning show were Cleveland State plus 5.5, Youngstown State moneyline -160, Canisius moneyline -135, and Canisius first half -1.5. Most controversial game of the day and play of the day: Georgia State, Georgia Southern. I, in the morning show, gave Georgia State first half -0.5 and the full game -1, and I'll stick with both of those. I also gave Niagara +5 in the afternoon show here. I gave Milwaukee first half over 61, Cleveland State under 152, Youngstown State first half -2, Canisius team total over 77, St. Bonaventure Rhode Island game first half over 70.5, Penn first half -1, and the Georgia Southern Georgia State game first half over 66.5 and the full game over 142. All right, now let's
Shit,
That's it.
Sorry, did we not get to the... we broke down the Iona game, did we?
Yeah, are you kidding me? We brought Deshawnee Munch.
Oh, yeah, of
Here we go.
course.
Jordan Forrester says Deshawnee is in. Okay. That helps him, but I'm going to stick with my play on Niagara in that one.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
stayed off Niagara, but I'm on the under. Cool.
Yes. All right, so let's move on to NHL. Once again, Jimmy the Bag gave, Philly Columbus. He liked Columbus on the puck line, right, and the over. I also took Columbus -1 and the over in that game. Islanders Carolina. Jim went to the well, going to the well one more time with an Islanders under. Took the under 6.5 in that one. Colorado Winnipeg. Did you give a play on that one? Yeah, you took Winnipeg on the puck line, right?
Yes, and that I would say that's the play I'm the most confident in. Although I like the Hurricanes under 6.5. I just think this is a point where the Jets are a very good team. They've called out Line and Ehlers and put them back onto a later line. I don't think this will be that high scoring of a game. And what is the over under here actually? Because
on what?
With moving Ehlers and Line down to the third line, well, they're not even on the same line respectively though. We'll create a situation where Winnipeg, they'll put them all together on the power play, and that's where Winnipeg will score their goals. The total for the Jets,
Winnipeg game.
Avalanche.
Yeah, because I was thinking about under. You like the under there as well, right, Jim?
I think that is
It's
good
5.5.
spot.
The best line would be -106 at Bet Online.
I think that is a good spot.
How about the Colorado team total under, Jim? How about that? Yes, Jim. If you say you like Winnipeg puck line and you like the under, then you definitely like, logically, the Colorado team total under.
What's the line?
Let's find it. Except for juice, because team totals, of course, do have higher juice and lower limits because they're easier to beat. Colorado team total under would be 2.5 -135 at Heritage, probably just a tick better at Pinnacle.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't played anything over worse than -125 all year, and I'm going to stick to that. But you're absolutely right.
Yes.
And so because of that, I won't.
You won't take the under.
Yeah.
Right. And actually, that's actually a very good. Someone's at the door. We got to get out of here. Who is that? Who's that asshole at the door? Who's that? Oh, the asshole at the door is Drew Martin. Drew Martin, one of my favorite assholes of all times. Drew Martin, thank you so much. Yes, and actually, I'll tell you this. This is another little trick, right? If you're looking at a game and you're not exactly sure how you think of things, and you're saying I'm liking the puck line and I'm liking the under, if that's the case, then logically you definitely like the team total under for that other team. So if you go and look at the team total under for that other team and you realize that you don't quite like it that much, that's a good sign that your reads on the other bets that you thought you were liking are maybe a little bit off, Jimmy the Bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
nice
you're
little
right.
trick.
That is a good play. But truly, it's not that I don't like the Avalanche spot. It's that I have to stick to what's working this year, and that's never taking anything over minus 125, which allows me to hit less than 50% to a profit.
Sure. But I'm just saying it's a really good indication. You know, if you feel like you have a pretty strong lean on a side and a total in the game, but you don't have an even stronger lean to the appropriate team total that would imply, that means that there's probably you should rethink your initial leans on the side and the total, because logically that's how it all works. And the team total for Carolina, for Colorado at Pinnacle would be under 2.5 minus 130. You don't necessarily like that one?
No, I do like it. I think that play makes sense. Minus 2.5. I think it makes sense. I'm just going to completely stick to the plan all season long. To a T. I'm never going to ever take anything worse worse than minus 125.
Okay, and but again, mathematically, then you would like it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yes. All right, and also I did take Dallas on the -1 line. Jim has made the argument that in general he's very hesitant to take Dallas when they've had a long break because they're just not a team with good character. But this is not a high line. It has gotten bet down from when I took it. And another big factor for me was just that, as you said, St. Louis has a couple defensemen out.
But Parayko is playing.
Okay, well, that's not great. So that's probably why the line went down a little bit. But Allen is confirmed in goal, and we know that he's been a sieve, S-I-V, this year at times. So I'm taking Dallas here. The odds, if it was minus 160, I wouldn't take it, but at minus 135, I'll take it on the -1 line. So that's it for NHL. Jim likes Columbus and Philly over. I'm on that one as well. Jim likes Columbus on the puck line. I took Columbus at -1, and that line has actually gotten bet up, so we're on the right side of that line moving. Jim likes the under in Islanders Carolina. I should probably tail that one, but I'm not going to right now. Jim likes Winnipeg on the puck line, and I like Dallas -1, and that's it.
That's it. And JR3 Inc.'s asking me about the World All-Star Games. I did not study it at all. Was just really focusing on this college card that I've been getting crushed at, and but was really focusing on that. Jeremy M. Jeremy M. is the guy I talked about this morning, and he said I didn't have that play on the under 6.5 until he had it.
Yes.
He's been doing great. Started leaning to the under. He says St. Louis, Dallas. Says doesn't seem like either are taking a ton of shots on goal. Interesting. Ben Goldstein says not sure I love the Dallas pick today. I think the line is pretty accurate.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily loving the Dallas pick either. And it's obviously it's not great to hear that one of their defensemen is in, but Dallas, they are off a blowout loss, right? If you read what they're saying that they're pissed about that. The defenseman being out was a negative, right? And Jake Allen in goal was a negative. So I added up all those negatives and positives, looked at the line, and I thought, all right, I'm going to take a shot with Dallas here. And again, if it loses, I'll lose a unit, but it's a calculated risk, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. And let's just quickly Steo Giles says, any Bellator picks guide. Steo Giles, I wish I had two heads, two brains. That way I could, and that's going to happen when the singularity happens, Jim. I wish I had time to look at Bellator, and I didn't. So I don't have any picks on that one, as well as the Olympics and the hockey and all that stuff, and soccer. Wish I could handicap all this shit. We will. We can take a quick look at MMA. Unfortunately, this week was just too chaotic, and I did not have a chance to do the video I normally do with Andreas Hale for UFC Fight Night 126. Obviously the main event is very interesting. Donald Cerrone. Cerrone's on a losing streak right now. He's a guy who is only 34 years old, but his body's like 44, taking a lot of punishment in his career. But the guy he's fighting, Yancy Medeiros, is a guy who's vulnerable, a guy who can get hit. Obviously, this fight at first glance has under and inside the distance written all over it. I'm sort of thinking that long term, I'm not a believer in Cerrone. I think Cerrone's going to stick around in the UFC and take a bunch of losses until he finally retires. Hopefully, not too late. But I'm thinking that this fight might be one where Cerrone gets together and does come out with a win. He's a favorite. I think if he does win, not likely to go the distance. Again, none of these picks are official for me because I didn't have time to do the actual video with Andreas Hale and get his opinions, make my official picks. But definitely, Cerrone inside the distance is kind of tempting right now.
Steel Giles says not going to bet on Cerrone. Will bet the under though.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the under is is an obvious play there. Probably the fight not going 5 rounds is also a good bet, even though that's probably going to be like minus 1,000 or wherever the hell it is. Let me just quickly pull up the lines here. I like to use 5 dimes lines for UFC, and yeah, the under in the Cerrone fight is wow, 2.5 minus 125. I got to think that's a good bet. I think either Cerrone gets finished or Medeiros gets finished inside 2.5 rounds. And I can understand why you wouldn't want to bet on Cerrone, but I do feel like if ever there's a spot where he's going to get the win, where he's likely to get a win going forward, it's going to be here. I feel like after this one, they're just going to throw him in, and he's going to take a lot of punishment until he finally retires again. Hopefully, it won't be too bad. Let me just see what Cerrone inside the distance. Cerrone inside the distance plus 160. Yeah, Cerrone's favored here. I think that's probably a good bet. Cerrone inside the distance at plus 160. The under 2.5 rounds at minus 125. Probably a decent fight. Wow. And the fight not going the distance is just minus 245. That is tempting. I mean, you could make the argument that if it gets over 2.5 rounds, then it's because the way the fight is playing out means that it's likely to go the distance. But that also seems like it's a good bet there. The fight not going 5 rounds, minus 245. So those would all be leans for me. Again, I don't like to give picks unless I've had the chance to, because I really trust Andreas Hale. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's all he does is MMA. He's friends with the fighters, some of them, and shit like that. So he really knows what he's talking about. Didn't have a chance to do that video with him, and I don't have any opinions on. I don't have any official picks on it, but I would definitely be leaning, under, fight not going the distance, and Cerrone inside the distance. Another fight that's interesting is the Lewis Tibura fight. Let's just pull up those odds. Derek Lewis. It's in You know how we hear rumors of the flu in sports, and we don't know how heavy to take them, how important. Lewis has rumors of when an MMA fighter has like a persistent nagging injury. He has like a nagging back injury. Now, I'm thinking if you're some guy who has any kind of a nagging back injury that you're going to fight through, I know that they take whatever pain-killing drugs they can take for those fights, but that fight is probably an injury like that's got to crop up, right, at some point.
I don't know. I mean, they're all probably dealing with something. And
right. Yeah. Good point, Jim. Yes.
You do enough. I'm sure they have ways to pop themselves full of something to not feel it. And so no, I don't know if I would
necessarily agree with that.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting fight. Lewis, of course, is a guy who has a vicious knockout power, but if he doesn't get the knockout early, I think the fight might go the distance. So that might be an interesting, and I wouldn't take it on the over 2.5 at plus 100. I would just take the fight going the distance, and I wouldn't be surprised if like Tibura gets a win there going the distance. That fight would be a Tibura. Let's find that one. Tibura by decision is plus 258, and the fight going the distance plus 115. Yeah, I wouldn't take that one because Lewis could easily end it early, or he could get finished. So that's definitely an interesting fight. And then, of course, Sage Northcutt is fighting against Guti, and I think that Northcutt is really improving. He's a 22-year-old guy who just switched his training camp. Looks like it's doing him a world of good. And I'd probably take a shot with Northcutt even at minus 280. I feel like he probably wins by decision, but I wouldn't want to bet that one because he could get a finish as well. I don't like taking big favorites in MMA, but Northcutt is looking like he's a young guy who's improving with a good training camp, and minus 280, it's a big line, but if you lose a little bit less than 3 units, which is bad, but not disastrous, right? You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, but I mean, do you remember the very first week of the hockey season, I lost on that minus 230 with the Dallas Stars, and I never did it again.
Yes. I mean, listen, in MMA, there can be huge edges. With MMA, you just really want to be careful about taking like a minus 500, 600 favorite, because then if it loses, you're in the hole for 6 units. You're like, why the hell did I do that? But Northcutt is really looking like a guy who's on his way up. And 280, it's a big line, but I really think he wins this fight, and it might be. Go ahead.
I think on a one-on-one situation, you can have way more confidence on a minus 280 than you can on a team-on-team situation.
Yes, absolutely. Good point there, Jim. Steo Giles says Sage is a beast, 1 to 3 favorite, but aggressive. A bit aggressive. I don't know, man. Yeah, I would be if you gave me a free play. I'm not going to bet it. If you gave me a free play on it, definitely I would take Sage Northcutt. If you gave me a free play, again, I'm not going to have any bets. I just plumb ran out of time this week. Didn't get to do my call with Andreas Hale, so I'm out of this one. Let's see. Triple Beams 3 says Sage definitely not a beast. Let's see. Other comments here. Let me look at it. Look at some comments here. Jeremy M says Cerrone fight goes to the cards. Okay. Yep. Let's see. Kobe Valentine says Medeiros has the power striking, the athleticism, the aggressive offense to give Cerrone serious problems. And Kobe Valentine says based on his last 3 bouts, Cerrone may have lost a step. I think based on his last 3 bouts, Cerrone has definitely lost a step. The question is, how much of a challenge is Medeiros going to give him? Kobe Valentine likes Medeiros to keep the momentum going. Medeiros can get hit though. You know what I mean? Medeiros doesn't have defense. You know, I think that if Cerrone has it, I mean, we saw the same thing happen with Machida recently. The only difference is in that fight, Machida was a big underdog. So you were taking a modest risk to get a big payout here. And here, Cerrone is the favorite. So, you know, overall, my point is no official picks. I'm just giving my thoughts based on the research that I did and the little bit of thinking that I did. No official picks from me on this one. UFC Fight Night 126. I have no idea what Andreas Hale thinks, but yeah, let's see. Yep. Steo Giles says, I think Cerrone will win by stoppage, but the under is safer. You know, I have no official picks, and I'm not going to bet any of these fights either. Triple Beam says, had Medeiros, I'll revisit. You know, I don't necessarily disagree with that, Triple Beams. The question, it's a judgment call on how much of a decline Cerrone is in and exactly how much of that decline will matter here. I definitely think that Cerrone is in decline going forward long term, and he's going to be a good bet against more often than not. This fight, maybe not. It's just Medeiros has some questions on his own. So, you know, yeah. And Ben Goldstein says Medeiros has a really good chin. I don't think Medeiros is going to get knocked out. I think if he loses inside the distance, I think he's going to get subbed. You know, it's a tough one. I'm off it. I hope I didn't talk anyone off it. I was just thinking out loud here. No official picks for me. Once again, no. Don't come back in here and say, Loshak, you went 0-3 in UFC last weekend. You suck at UFC. No, I did not go 0-3. I can tell you right now, my official record with my bets and my picks for this UFC event is going to be 0-0. Okay, that's my official record already. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Okay. Friday afternoon. I'm losing it, Jimmy. Jimmy, I just lost it for a second, Jimmy. Jimmy the Bag, the sports betting is getting to me. Jimmy the Bag, I've been doing this nonstop for 18 years. Yeah?
Aspire to Late is asking you for a bedtime story.
All right, yes. Let's go to bed. Let's take a nap. All right, it's nap time for myself and Jimmy the Bag. That's just about wraps it up. Can we wrap it up, Jimmy the Bag?
Yeah, my friend.
On that note, let's wrap it up. We'll be back on Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.